Today we're getting an observational fun tutorial for anime cell shading using Bacassi, one of my other series besides Apple Black, for this demo. I have lots of videos like this on the channel, but this is going to be another really good one. I'm the creator of Apple Black, published and serialized on Saturday AM, and now available to read on Webtoon. And based off of my experience as a creator and a digital artist, I'm going to share some goodies while the Colossal Titan be creeping in the back. We got the inking going on. With the spirit of Bacassi, you can see all the characters coming together almost in an NWA style. And we have these characters from a dynamic angle and dynamic poses looking at us, the viewer. Even have the doggy licking the camera. One of the cool things I added was the unique tongue that the dog has, kind of hinting that this dog is not, a regular dog. I have a separate new video talking about Picassi and what the series is supposed to be like and what the vibes are supposed to be like. It's supposed to be very humorous, having various elements of series like a Gintama, South Park, Boondocks, Netflix, Bright, Ugly Americans, Blood Blockade, Battlefront, stuff like that. Hence why you see Colossal Titan making a cameo in this series. Obviously, it's not going to be called Colossal Titan. I didn't plan on calling it that, or any character that's clearly a parody from a different series. I might make certain tweaks to. If you have watched Gintama at all, which I think is one of the greatest comedy anime ever, you kind of get the vibe of what I'm going for. And if this ended up on Webtoon, imagine parodying a lot of other Webtoon series as well. I think there's nothing like it, and the possibilities are endless because I would have had so much fun doing a lot of funny stuff. Imagine a Webtoon episode where they know they're in a vertical scroll reading format and just kind of the scroll and playing with that, being very meta, very Deadpool. And so having the dog kind of lick the camera is somewhat of a nod to all of that. I do think Picassi will come back at some point. I don't know, as a Webtoon or whatever it will come back as, but you can read the first couple pages on my Patreon. Shout out to those who support. A lot of that goes back into video production with my editors and manga assistants. If you're enjoying the video so far, please don't forget to like the video, go smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you stay notified each time I upload absolutely anything. I've actually made a couple tweaks to this, changed some of the lore a little bit in case the series was going to come back. But right now I'm just inking the core main characters of the series. I already had a lot of the sketch pretty much done. Here I'm doing something really neat with inking Shauna's hair, where I'm not even going in with the details for the braids just yet. I'll do that after I've added flats, because with limited lines, it's much easier to have those filled in color when I'm doing the flats. And then I can go back into the layer with the inks and add the details for the braids. I did the sketch for the background that's going to be there. I did a sketch for the background, part of what the Colossal Titan is interacting with. Got a little bit of Mountain Doom in the back. But in order to knock out the perspective and make sure it's right, there are a couple tricks you can do in Clip Studio Paint, but a lot of art software have something similar. Up to layer, ruler frame, create perspective ruler, and then you pick the point perspective that you want. Okay, you'll create this new layer, hit shortcut O, just tap on one of the lines, give you all these anchor points, and then you move the vanishing points however you see fit. You can turn that off and get a 3-point perspective. Move the anchor points to fit what you want. And while it's on, you can just create a new layer. And by on, I just mean visible. And then all the lines you make would snap to the respective anchor points. On a new layer, we can do something completely new. With those techniques, I add in the background. Here, the characters are kind of in this weird world where all these otherworldly beings live in one with them and just go through the regular mundane struggles that we as a society we deal with, racial, economical, everything, with that dash of satirical humor. But the series, similar to a Gintama, will have those moments of pure action, high intensity, dire situations, emotional strings pulled. It's one of the things I admired a lot about Gintama when I watched it. But now here, I wanted to do something different, give it my own edge, give it stuff that is unique to me, that's very different from all the series that I've referenced so far, beyond just my taste and style of humor. The series is going to take place in this weird New York-esque place, but I even toyed around with the idea of Atlanta. That surrealist vibe of the show Atlanta is also inspiration that I could draw from. Hey, if all the projects you're working on continue to get massive love, y'all, I'll show love to Apple Black on Webtoon, the Patreon, Saturday AM, the video game, all that stuff. It would actually open up doors to revisit this series, because I do have certain ideas, but all of that will come in time. Right now, we're just enjoying this illustration and putting it together. See here, putting in the windows with that perspective guide that we've learned. And I'm gonna have separate layers, adding in the flats for the characters, the shading, and just little pieces here, almost treating them as separate assets that can be reused later in the future. Now we add color flats. There's so many ways of adding color flats. There isn't one way of doing it. You can do it manually with one of your brushes within the art software you're using. You can use a paint bucket tool, a magic wand, selecting parts. You can hold shift and select multiple parts, a lasso pen. There's so many ways to do it, and I have so many videos on the channel showing you multiple ways of doing it. It can be tedious, but generally is one of the most straightforward, easy things to do. It's almost like a plug and play type of situation. I can imagine even the characters in certain scenes can reference how I'd have probably loved to just do flats and no shading and all of that because you're a lazy bum of an artist or some. I don't know. If you get that kind of humor, you know what I'm talking about. Gintama also references the original artists and even the anime studio putting them together. They do a lot of fun meta work. And I always think that's a fun place to be creatively sometimes. But these are just flats. You can see now I'm finally putting in the line work for her braids because the flats are in. I was thinking as a joke, the Colossal Titan can be, obviously from a different dimension or something. But maybe they're nice, they're very kind, soft, gentle, friendly neighbor, probably vegan, works as a repo man in this world, maybe with a nickname as Collateral Titan. This is just a joke for this poster. I'm not thinking this is like a reoccurring character or anything like that. It was just something to hint at the idea of what type of series this is. Also for people to raise questions. Even for the skies, I'm using the materials available in Clip Studio Paint. If you go in the top right corner of your screen, you can find a lot of the materials, whether it be monochrome or grayscale or in color. And they have some really cool sky ones, and I couldn't be bothered to paint a cool one, so the characters will probably call me lazy for this. But it ended up looking good in the end, you know? As long as the product is done, everybody's fine. Have you seen all those webtoons where they're clearly using just a couple 3D assets to make sure they hit the deadline? That's the vibe that's going on here, you know? That's another thing I've noticed, right? With webtoon and even sometimes with Japanese comics, where the inking of the characters seem very quick. You can clearly tell they're trying to hit a deadline, or the art style of the characters versus the backgrounds are very different because obviously it's two different people handling it. And the same thing with the 3D backgrounds and webtoons. Almost like the audience, once you've captured them, they care more about the story and making sure that that's making progress versus all the minute details of the artwork. They're way more forgiving. I think maybe less so if it's all then compiled into book form, because then you can make upgrades and updates, would actually give the book form more value, because at the end of the day, they're probably reading stuff they've already read for free online or read somewhere else online. You kind of incentivize them to have this remastered versions of things in this book form, and you can even throw in a couple other new key features and details and extras to sweeten the deal. With this guy here, I used a correction layer, messed with the hue a little bit to change the color of the sky. So I still did some editing, you know, I didn't just slap it on there. Going in and adding a little extra details to the background so it doesn't look like just a flat color. Coloring in the windows, which are reflecting the sky. It's not just a random blue you put in there. At the end of the day, the window is really reflecting that sky that it sees, depending on, you know, the tint of it and all of that. But just generally speaking, it's almost like a mirror, a little bit. Add some more coloring to it. Touch the Lord of the Ring reference. The backgrounds in the back can be a little bit more painted on and less detailed because they're further away with some atmospheric pressure. So they kind of get lost the further back you go. Throw in some dragons from Game of Thrones, because why not? Now in a separate layer, with a linear burn blending mode and a reduced opacity, I shade in the characters. Again, if you're familiar with the channel, you know the spew. And to have that anime look, you want to pick a brush, probably the real G-Pen or just a G-Pen, but really something with sharp edges, which mimics that 2D cell shading that you see very common in a lot of animation, but especially Japanese animation. Some airbrushes for the lights, reduced opacity, and a different blending mode as well. I recommend you guys play around with the blending modes of certain layers, especially if you're doing some lighting, especially if you're doing some dynamic lighting. Play around with effects as well for blurs. I'm gonna add subtle blurs on the edges, and that's when I duplicate all the layers and I flatten it at the top, and then I blur that. And I give the whole layer a Gaussian blur, reduce the opacity a little bit, and then change the blending mode to like lighten. And it gives a soft anime look. Again, so many videos that touch on that. But this time I might just do a regular blur and then erase parts of it to just keep the center of the image more sharp. As you can see here, voila. with the Bacassi logo on the top left. There's also a funny Easter egg with the Bacassi logo itself, with the way it's written. I wonder if you guys can spot the little weirdness. That's about it. If you guys enjoyed the video, again, like the video. Holy go smash the subscribe button and hit the bell so you stay notified each time I upload absolutely anything. Read Apple Black on Webtoon. Check out the Patreon. Shout out to those who already have, even if you just signed up for free. Watch more videos. There's a lot of good stuff coming. It's Whyt Manga and Audi 9000.